Welcome back to Psychotronic Coast to Coast. We watched the first film in this series of three films. Um, and like it was early on. We paired it with with Exterminators of 3000 of the year 2000, which I think is like episode 2 of our podcast. If I'm not mistaken, 2 or 3. Anyway, it's an early episode of our podcast. Who knows when this will go up though? Because we've got like 40 little segments recorded. Actually, we've recorded 90 segments now as of this recording. We have put up 12 episodes, 13 episodes. So it's 26 plus 2 more because we had the best of the worst. So 28. We have 28 episodes or segments that have been released to the public out of 90 as of now. So that puts us at 45 episodes worth of content. So we don't know when this will come out. You could be hearing this 2 years from now. Who knows? We record these because we do this every week, but the podcast isn't a weekly thing. So anyway, we did Escape from the Bronx. I'm just kind of rambling on. We never mentioned the movie Escape from the Bronx. Woo! Enzo G. Castellari's magnum opus, if you will, of a man named Mark Gregory, who he met in a weightlifting or at a gym. He was weightlifting and thought he had a beautiful body. No joke. And he wanted to put him in a movie. And he actually had a small career. He did like Thunder 1, 2, and 3. He did a few other films here and there. I don't remember offhand all of them. And I'm not going to read them all off. But, he did these 2 films, and then he did the Thunder trilogy. Those were his big things. We're going to do the Thunder trilogy one day. I mean, I say that when I have like at least 100 movies in my collection that I'd like us to cover on the podcast that aren't even in the 100 movies that are to the right of me in the stack for the podcast. Because every time I do an episode, I shift everything up. And I put the newest, I grab something else from the shelf that I want us to cover and put it at the bottom of the stack. And I thus force myself to get through some of these. Because what'll happen is I'm like, oh, we're going to do that movie. And then I'll fucking change my mind. And things like Evils of the Night, I've been meaning to cover that. I liked that movie. I watched it with my girlfriend. We enjoyed it. It's perfect for the show. That's an example of like a movie that I need to like put in the pile. Which reminds me, I'm totally putting it in the pile. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But so, I'm rambling. This happens. Hopefully he cuts some of this out, including me saying, hopefully it cuts some of this out, including me making a joke about, hey, you should remove, so let's cut some of this stuff out. Anyway, I'm here with my co-host Owen Neal. I have basically talked for 10 minutes without even mentioning that he's here. He is here. He watched this weird movie with lots of exploding vehicles. Owen, you want to tell me what you remember about Escape from the Bronx?
I can try.
Let me adjust myself here. Okay, feel free. I won't squeak.
Well, it starts off, we see some men in silver suits. They're driving around the Bronx, megaphones saying, "You need to leave the Bronx." And they're offering housing in New Mexico if you sign up. But in reality, they're just murdering everybody. They're just sweeping and cleaning the city.
With flamethrowers, a very inefficient weapon for murdering people.
Although they did gather some people up, but then like, you want to burn them? Sure, let's burn them.
Yeah, they let people go. I guess early on they were just paying people to leave, and then these people don't want to leave the Bronx because it's their home.
Yeah, all the criminals and the gang members.
And those people, yeah, and people who just don't want to leave because it's their home because they've always lived there.
And they are after trash because they know what happened last time. So helicopter shows.
I don't remember what happened last time, but that's okay. I've seen that movie like 5 times too.
He killed all the people that were trying to clean up the Bronx.
That's true. That's right.
And they harpooned the leader.
Oh yeah, and then like Fred Williamson rode around with a bunch of gangster cars and shit for no reason. That was that movie, right?
Yes.
Okay. See, I get confused with Exterminators of the Year 2000, but I think that one was with just the one that was like a bunch of cars racing around the gravel pit for 45 minutes.
It's also confusing because the Hammer, as you said, is in it, but the bad guy in the movie is called the Hammer.
Oh
but
yeah,
it's not the Hammer playing him.
it's. I bet you it was supposed to be, and then he had like some other movie to do, like Boss Hog or something.
Yeah, that was they were trying to clean up the city in that one, and there was a bunch of gangs that were also fighting each other. But
Yeah.
anyways,
Yeah, while we were watching, actually, funny story. I actually got Greg Williamson, and Greg Valentine mixed up by accident. I was like, just like these are the names, you know, similarly structured. So yeah. Anyway.
yeah. So they start shooting at Trash, and he unloads all 6 rounds in his little revolver and blows up the helicopter.
Yep. This is just the
Ooh.
first of many. It's 5 minutes in, and the first of many vehicles that just randomly blow up because guns are being shot at them. There's a lot of them. That happens a lot. At one point, their character has a magic shotgun that just literally blows up cars with every shot for like a 5 or 10 minute span.
And just to show Trash they mean business, they go and burn his parents alive.
Yeah, they do. They really do.
And it's just kind of a lot of montage of them killing people, and then Trash crying and holding his dead mom's hand. And then they go in the building and they start putting explosives on it and blowing up just that one building. Did you notice that? Like, I thought they were starting early, the demolition of the city, but they just blew up the one building. So I
And
don't know if they knew he was in there or what.
they blew it up by putting explosives on the outside front of the building and nowhere else.
Yet somehow the ceiling above him was exploding.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much. All the floors were collapsing somehow.
And it kind of buries him in some rubble.
But somehow it doesn't kill him, even though they literally dropped a building on him like Superman.
No.
But what is this guy, John Wick? What the fuck?
You cut to a building with some people in their fancy suits, and they're discussing how they're going to rebuild this area. They're going to rebuild the entire, not only the Bronx, but the entire city with what looked like golden fucking skyscrapers.
Yeah.
They at least had windows.
I like that. Like, this is a city of the future, and they show in 1970s Bronx or New York skyline. I'm like, yes, the future. And then they show the model, and it's just like your typical science project scale, like model of the future. Like, this is what the future could look like. Domes and like weird domes and pillars and shit. Yeah.
Monorails.
Oh yeah, monorails, man. Bring back the Lego monorails. This is some bullshit. By the way, they discontinued that little mini rant. Fuck you, Lego. I love you, but bring back the monorail. Anyway.
So he can make a replica of the replica from this movie.
Damn right.
Lego.
You know what? I seriously want to do that now. That will be a project in the future I'd like to do, is recreate that little city out of Lego.
From the best part was
Escape from the Bronx.
The best part was the model had the Bronx, but it still looked like shit.
yeah, it was pretty funny.
Okay. So
yeah, it's funny. It's like, here's like a model proceeding in fucking shithole. Because I think the idea was they're gonna level the Bronx. The Bronx specifically is gonna become the children's hospital. Like, that's what the idea. So that one end of the Bronx that was shitty still, that's where everyone was living, and that's where they wanted to put the children's hospital. So they want to kill and murder all these people so they can save kids' lives. I'm so torn between letting these people do this and going, what the fuck? Kids, dude. Kids.
Fuck kids. That should have been their motto, their cry.
Also,
fuck children.
All the squeak you hear in every episode of the shit podcast will suddenly stop happening because I have the new chair has been ordered. I should have it next month.
Okay.
It's because I bought it from a group buy site, and they have to receive all the items first, and then they ship them out to us. So yeah, takes time. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah.
As we were talking.
Yeah, I was struck by Ladybug.
The miniature. The miniature with the really shitty Bronx miniature next to the really nice miniature.
So the whole point of the scene was showing that they're the ones doing it, but it's under the jest that they've gathered all of them up and gave them homes in New Mexico's. But there was one girl in there like, that's bullshit. You know, aren't you just killing them? And they're like, get her out of here. She's crazy. So, cut back to the Bronx. Trash is met up with the gangs underground, talking about what's going on. Yeah. So he meets up with the gang underground. He's talking about what's going on, and she shows up with her cameraman, and they catch them burning people and shooting people. Right?
That sounds about right. Yeah. Yep. The
Um,
cameraman gets killed from behind by a guy who sneaks up on. By the way, the guy gets snuck up on by a guy in a fucking spacesuit with a flamethrower. If you can't hear that guy coming behind you, you deserve to get lit on fire. Because that's gonna
I
sound like
didn't.
crunch as the fucking thighs rub together from the suit, from the fucking flamethrower being on. Really hard to sneak up on someone with a flamethrower. Just saying.
I guess I missed him dying.
Yeah, he gets fucking lit on fire, and she's like, "What the fuck are you guys
I don't
doing?"
know.
That's
But
why she gets all crusadey. Because they
okay.
kill the cameraman or whatever, taking photos.
And you kind of jump to the mayor of the town of the New York, I guess. He's christening. He's hitting a building with a little pickaxe, showing they're going to tear it down and build children's hospital, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
And they basically come up with a plan that they're going to kidnap the president of the one that's doing all this, not the president of the United States, but
The
president of
president
the
of the United
corporation.
States? No, no. Like, they literally had to clarify that at some point. No, the
Yeah.
president of the company.
As we jumped a little too far ahead. They meet up with this guy who's the best of the best, can get him out of the city,
Striker.
and his child who likes to blow stuff up, and the plan of kidnapping this president of this company that's doing all this.
Yeah, and Striker's voice sounds like Nathan Fillion for some reason. It's not. He didn't do the voice, but it sure sounds like the guy. It's a little similar. Anyway.
So they cut to the mayor christening the building, the head of the president of the things there, and they do a little shootout. But before the shootout, the girl runs out and says, "I got proof that they're just killing everyone here." And the news guy's filming her, and then the mayor himself just says, "She's got a gun." So they all just open fire on her, and then they run over and throw a gun on her, like not even like sneakily, they just plop it on her, and then they like tackle the news crew. So hopefully that was live, but apparently it wasn't because no one seemed to care, or they didn't really bother filling in that plot hole. But
It may have been not a live crew. It could have just been a regular, like one of the ones that goes and gets footage and comes back. So,
yeah,
to be fair. So,
but
so it's happening doesn't make a goddamn difference because it's live. They get killed, then they can get the tape, right?
yeah, but during that little scuffle, they got the president, and they're moving through sewers, and it's basically just a lot of people being blown up and shot for quite a while as they're trying to make it back to the underground gangs.
Yep, that's about right.
Um, so that's all pretty exciting, but I guess we could just jump to the gang part, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's like nothing really. Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of running through tunnels and shooting people happens.
Yeah. So they meet up the gangs, and everyone's like, "Yeah, oh, what's the next step?" And this is where we see I guess he'd be the vice president of the company. He's basically like talking to the guy they hired to kill everyone, who's a maniac. He's just
He's
like,
a crazy person, legit.
why don't we just kill everyone in the sewers and the president? Fuck him. I'll be the new president. And the guy's like, all right. So they start pumping gas into the sewers.
So a big chunk of the middle of the movie was going to get the president and take him. So like, it seems like we're going through the plot really quickly because it's like first 30 minutes are just like all the people being killed by the exterminators and trash, just trying to escape them. Then he meets the rebels. Then they tell him to go get Stryker, and he finds Stryker, and then him and Stryker wander around some more tunnels. This all takes place in tunnels from like the point when he's running away till like they get the president, because that takes place up above ground, and they go back underground and they're running from the other guys. It's just like, yeah. And some I like to point out that like some of it's like real catacombs, obviously, real sewers, real like one at least a factory in some of the shots. But there's some of it's a set, and at one point someone bumps a stone wall and it wobbles like whoa, like it's wood and fake. So, but I think actually it may have been just a fake wall added to like a catacomb or something. But this guy bumps a wall and it goes boop 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 boop. And I'm like, oh god, I'm like laughing. Anyway, as you were saying.
Yeah. So they all have to run out of the sewers together with the gas, and then it's all out war. Gangs fighting the guys in the silver suits and flamethrowers and explosions everywhere, people flipping, cars blowing up. It's pretty spectacular.
There is a lot of explosion in this movie. I mean, like the striker guy has a shotgun that he shoots vehicles with, and they just explode for 5 or 6 minutes straight. He just like boom, explode, boom, an explosion. Wee, like Jesus, super
Yeah.
shotgun, bro.
And the president comes out and says, "Help me!" And the main bad guy, I don't know his name,
I don't remember the bad guy's name either.
he comes over and
What does
just
it say here?
shoots him twice, right in the face, maybe chest. He didn't really show any blood, but he got shot twice.
Does
There
not
was that
say.
great scene though with Stryker where just everyone's being shot and there's not much blood. People flip over, and then all of a sudden he just smashes the guy's face in and just like gore.
It's the one thing you've probably seen from a GIF on the internet on this is the guy getting his face, the face mask of his motorcycle helmet. Because they're either wearing space helmets with bubbles, or they're wearing motorcycle helmets. The guy gets smashed, like the windscreen on it breaks, and his face collapses underneath the smashed gun. But it's a really great fucking moment of gore out of nowhere and sudden. It really kind of punctuates the moment. You're like, whoa, oh shit.
I love the motorcycle helmets. Like when they went to kill his parents, they all snuck up all tactical, and they're like, "All right, we're gonna kick in the door," and all their masks are just completely fogged. They can't see shit.
And you can, and that, like as explained, that's from an improperly fit helmet. It's making too much of a seal, so you don't have enough oxygen coming out here, and it's all flooding here, right? So, and and that's happening because the helmets are too small for their heads, but just enough that still fits. So you'll see later after that sequence, you'll see like it's cracked open for a lot of dudes because it was like fogging up. So you'll see a lot of people with it down. They're smaller people. They're wearing it just fine. But the slightly taller guys all have to have the wind visor cracked open or it fogs up. Pretty fucking funny.
So he's killed the president. As he's making back to, I guess, would be the new president, who's there with his Porsche for some reason. He kills the leader of the gangs from underground in all slow mo, like we're supposed to care.
I know, right?
He's dressed like he's Han Solo. He's got
He
like
is.
tall boots on and a vest.
A white shirt, gray shirt, something like that. But yeah, it's totally evocative of Han Solo, whether intentional or not, of course.
And then his girlfriend gets killed too. Some blonde girl that we don't really give a shit about either.
Yeah, there's no emotional connection to any of these characters really, except Trash. We definitely don't want anything to happen to Trash.
Over. He says, "Congratulations, you're the new president." And he's like, "Okay." He gets in his Porsche and drives through the fucking war zone. And gets blown up.
And guess who blows him up? Stryker with a shotgun.
And even better, it's a little toy car for a second before the explosion.
And I guess, here's my guess. I was thinking about it like while we were like getting set up. It's a little toy car, and I bet you they blew up the toy car and it looked like shit. And so what they actually did was, right before it explodes, they hard cut to a different explosion that fills the screen, so all you see is explosion. And then it cut away, and you're like, oh, that's cheap. Because they couldn't have a real car just drive down the road and then just cut the hard explosion. Still would have been cheap and stupid, but at least that would have been way more convincing than toy car explodes.
Yeah, so that's when the bad guy decides fucking I'm out, and he gets in one of the trucks and starts driving, running over corpses, shooting people. He shoots Trash in the arm. Trash rolls out of the way, shoots the van, and boom, he blows up.
Yeah, not even with a shotgun. He just uses a regular gun. And just suddenly, he shoots at it a few times, nothing, and then he finally shoots at it, and suddenly it explodes.
And I do want to point out.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's a scene before this where Trash is shooting people, and it has sounds of machine guns coming out of his revolver.
Yeah.
No, not even like a fake shot coming out. He just points it and you hear, and then the guys fall over. And he does it twice.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. I think it happens more than that. But
I was expecting something like crazy, like he was gonna come out and on fire, and he's like, and there'd be some battle. But no, that was it. He meets up with Stryker and his son. They smile at each other and walk away.
There's actually an earlier moment when a similar van gets blown up, and it's apparently it looked like it was obviously taken apart and set back together because when it blows up, it just comes off in pieces.
Yeah,
Pieces just go
that's
flying.
and then that's the way the bad guy's van blew up too. But when you see him standing next to it, it just has like the top peeled off it.
Yeah, and like it's a dummy that's just like laying there on its knees and it explodes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
it wasn't.
man, there's a few times when people get shot and they just explode because they have backpacks full of chemicals, and you're just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
People
Well,
are
the
just
one
exploding left and right.
earlier where they were strapping bombs to people, remember?
Yeah,
And
like
then
a
one
homeless
guy
guy, like
ran.
no, I've got a bomb on me, and then they all run away instead of trying to help him, and he just blows up.
But there was that other gory scene where the guy ran at the the guys in the silver suits who had a bomb on him. He was running at him. They shot him point blank, and he just exploded and blew both of them up. And there's just like chunks everywhere. It was just out of nowhere. But yeah, that was the end.
Yep.
No real, real showdown with the crazy villain. They just blew him up as he drove away.
Kind of anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Hey, and here's for anticlimactic. The quote-unquote third film in this series, New Barbarians, doesn't even have Trash or anyone else from this movie, or have anything to do with the Bronx in any way.
My biggest issue with this movie was Trash didn't do anything really.
He just wandered through the movie.
Yeah. The whole sewer sequence. I mean, he shot people in the sewer, but most of it was Stryker, who always had a very, like, I just came in my pants grin after he blew somebody up. It was kind of creepy.
Oh, that guy, yeah. It's almost
like,
as if they realized after the first movie he could not act, and so they didn't give him anything to do but shoot people.
But I mean, I guess now
I'm
thinking
okay with
back,
that.
he was kind of a wuss in the first one. Remember there was that big fight scene and he got kind of just knocked down, and then William, the Hammer, ended up doing like a big fight scene with one of the bad gang members, and he just kind of
Fred Williamson, yeah.
Yeah, Trash kind of just laid there.
I was like, Greg the Williamson Valentine? No, wait, that's not right. Shit.
Just call him the Hammer. Even though
The Hammer. Yeah, he's fucking Hammer. And he's gigantic. He signed my Dust of Dawn DVD. And I got a photo stand next to him. He is gigantic. I'm at his belly button. I mean, like, he's tall. He's a very tall man. Anyway.
Yeah, Trash was just kind of there.
Yeah. He was just a guy in the movie.
And then they let him kill the bad guy in the end.
Yep. But not really, because the explosion did it. But yeah.
The ending should have been, they should have been like, grabbed each other's hands and been like, fuck children's hospitals.
Dylan, you son of a bitch, but fuck children's hospitals. Bam! And they flex
really,
their muscles.
They just had an all-out war where almost everybody that actually lives there is dead now over nothing. It's a fucking dump. There's nothing there.
I know.
Like, what's the point other than the fact they can do whatever they want?
Other than the fact they keep being fucking murdered and sent off to fucking New Mexico concentration camps full of homeless people.
Yeah, like, Trash needs to just leave there and fucking make something of his life.
Yeah, just go somewhere else before they kill you. Like, yeah.
But, that's his homeland. He's free there.
I mean, why would you fight after his parents died? Other than vengeance, there's nothing to do there. Now it's really, you gotta go. There's nothing keeping you back, right?
Was his parents even in the first one? Was that even established that his parents lived in the Bronx?
No, none of that was even mentioned in the first movie.
I was like, his parents' building was completely abandoned except for one room upstairs
where they lived. And then all the hobos knew that they'd already been killed before he even knew they were being killed, and they were ransacking it when he showed up.
And yeah, he just shot them all.
Yep.
Well, he beat up the people outside, but when he found his dead parents, then he just shot the people inside.
They did try to stab him first, so I'm not like...
That is true.
I mean, like, if you try to stab me, I might shoot you too.
I need to steal these half-burnt items from your mom's home.
I know! These records are almost playable, why?
And by burnt, I mean spray-painted black.
Yeah, nothing's actually burnt. It's all spray-painted black. That's the burnt stuff, including the people.
Or the fact that parents had a 1990 Bronx Warrior poster on the wall.
I know, right? What was that about?
That was the only picture they had of their son.
I was like
a wanted
what?
poster.
Christ. What do you rate this film?
I'd give it 3.5.
I also give it 3.5. It's an excellent, fun film, and especially if you love things that explode randomly. And if you like exploding helicopters, like one of my favorite podcasts, 5 minutes in is your bread and butter right there.
I could have used a little more fisticuffs.
There could have just been more trash doing things other than wandering around the fucking shithole of Italy. Because it's like they shot 2 weeks in New York, but it's all anything exterior. Oh my god, we have to talk about that. Anything exterior is shot in this film, in New York. You can tell they probably didn't have permits because they're filming the sidewalk. There's just random people, right? And then this van pulls up, the fucking thing flies open, dudes with machine guns and flamethrowers and silver costumes get out, run to this fucking storage door, start flipping it open and running, and all the people in the background are like, what the fuck's happening? Who are these people? They're so confused. And it happened in a few shots like that, but
it didn't slow them down though. They kept on walking, like, yeah, whatever.
No, you'll see in the background when they're going into the ground, you'll see people standing back there going like, there's a lady in a jacket just going like, what? Like, she's just like, but confused, like, what's going on? Because what's happening, you may not see the camera on the other side because there's people running in front of it, you know? So you're like, why are these people, what?
I think the two that walked through the scene in the business suits were probably in on it. Because one of them got grabbed and, like, rushed along. It'd be kind of weird if they just grabbed some stranger.
Yeah, that's probably an extra. I mean, they did have some extras, but, like then there was a guy who came out of the pub and just stared. That guy was probably not an extra, but, you know.
Because also where they were running was completely empty of people, too. So there was probably somebody being like, hey, don't walk down there.
Right. And it was interesting because then, like, I think it was this way in the first movie where there's, like, action happening here where it's all barren. But just in the background, way back there, thanks to Blu-ray, you can see people just doing their normal day thing. Cars driving by. Yeah, it's something you wouldn't see on VHS or DVD, but like the minute you hit Blu-ray or on a big screen, you'd be like, hey, those people are back there.
I like the helicopter ride where they're flying around and they're like talking about how abandoned and no man's land the city is, and there's just like cars parked and cars driving everywhere.
I know, just a regular New York day. It's like regular stock footage of the fucking city. Like, okay, yeah, that was 3.5. I had a lot of fun with this one. I don't think it's better than the first movie, but I think it's a pretty solid sequel in the sense of like it's got its own entertainment merits. So.
Yeah, there's not a lot of, no lines really stuck out to me like your gray matters in your butt.
I forgot about that until you mentioned it when we were watching. I was like, oh yeah, that's great.
Got your gray matter in your butt. Talking shit out your ass.
Gosh, I don't know what I'm gonna pair this one with. I'll figure it out, I guess. What are we watching next week? Next recording segment. Probably next week. I'm assuming I'm not crippled with depression, or you're not shitting your brains out.
Bigfoot the movie,
which is on Amazon Video now, I believe. You said.
Hopefully, still on there because I really want you to see it.
Amazon Bigfoot the movie. Yep, included with from 2017, right?
Yep.
Or 2015. There's two of them. There's one from 2015 that shares your cover, and the one that 2017 that doesn't. Oh, they're the same movie.
Yeah, I think they got it distributing, and then the distributors made a really fucking shitty cover.
Yes, that would be this. It's a really fucking shitty cover.
But yeah,
here, I actually can show the audience here. Look at this. There we go.
Because they have this awesome.
Look at this shitty.
End,
I know.
Really awesome drawn cover.
On the stream, you can see it. You can see it in the episode when you edit it. You go to rip the audio or whatever. But yeah, it looks like trash. Glorious trash.
That's what the studios do. Like, we know how to sell this movie.
I mean, I don't have a problem with it.
From the movie, it's just badly made cover.
I get it. Like, who released it? Do you know?
I don't know. I got mine.
Oh, it's Wild Eye Releasing. Wild Eye Releasing. They do their own covers for everything. But yeah. Hey, I like the people over at Wild Eye. They don't like me, though, because I've given some bad reviews to some of the movies they released. So I used to get screeners for them, but they don't send them anymore, because I guess they gave too many bad reviews.
Whatever. But
so I just asked my bad movies to be shot well and not shitty. Not unwatchable. Like, I don't even care if it's well framed. Just, like, make sure the camera sees the action. Otherwise, I'm gonna talk shit about your movie. As long as I
Yeah.
can see what's going on, it can be badly framed, it can be whatever, but don't make me stare at feet. Don't make me stare at a black screen while people talk, like wander through the darkness. Just make sure I can see the movie. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I got this before they had that. I got it straight from them.
Okay,
So it has the cover that they had commissioned, which is awesome.
it's a really cool cover, and I like it. But yeah, we'll have to watch this. That. Yep.
Now,
Okay.
if only Moose the movie would go on Amazon Prime.
I can't wait till Moose Jaws. That'll be great. Then we can do Moose Jaws and the Walrus one for the show.
Moose the movie.
Oh God.
It's fucking awesome.
Okay. I mean, yeah, it may be. All right,
It's got
so
fucking puppets in it. It's got puppets in it.
I'm sold on puppets and monster suits, so you know. Anyway, yeah, that'll do it for this episode, this segment. Yeah, I mean, I still don't have a closing remark, so I guess we just get to fucking randomly end it. Thanks for watching it. This has been a Screaming Pods production. Peace out, guys.